Hi, everyone, and welcome to episode 18 of the Evently Live Chat Show. Today, our guest, his name is Robert Korzeniewski. I managed to pronounce that correctly. He is a DJ, also known as Mr.Root, a producer, songwriter, remixer. I'm very excited for this show, and I do look forward that you guys enjoy the show. We have a very good set of topics in the agenda today. As usual, first off, thank you very much to everyone that watches the show. And if you have any questions, feedback, anything at all, please feel free to put them in the comments while we are live, and we'll be able to have Robert answer them for you. In the meantime, I am inviting Robert over to join us in. Hi, Robert.
Hello, Alberta. Hello,
Hi.
everybody. Thank you for having me and welcome to
Super.
the studio.
Thank you very much for being on the show. Thank you for working with us as well. How are you?
I'm very good. Thank you very much. The weather is awesome. It's a great place to be. Life cannot be any better, regardless the circumstances.
Of course. Well, as probably everyone has noticed from me trying to pronounce Robert's surname, and perhaps you want to tell our viewers today a bit about your background, where you're from, who you are, and who Mr. Root is.
Well, I'm originally from Poland. I moved here with my wife 3 years ago. Long story short, me and my wife, we always wanted to live in the south. We were considering maybe Ibiza, Gran Canaria, Mallorca, one of those places. But total accident. We visited Malta and we thought that, wow, this place is great. It has loads of potential. You know, it's a growing economy and people are great, very friendly, and we decided this is the place to be. And that was 3 years ago, and we are still here. Although my wife, because she's an actress and a singer, she still works in Poland, so she flies there and back. My
Yes.
work is here.
Cool, cool, cool. And how did you come about to starting the business and becoming the DJ you are today?
Well, I was a musician all most of my life. I was doing music. I learned a piano as a kid. I was a drummer as a teenager later on, and I was I was producing music for computers. If you remember the old days with computers like Commodore 64, Amiga, all this scene, I was there, and then. By not going into details, I was doing just normal jobs. I was a writer to a computer games magazine. I was selling and distributing Japanese comics and animation in Poland. I was having a internet company.
Okay.
And then I decided that I don't want to wear a suit and a tie anymore. And I came back to the thing that I loved all my life, which was music. And then it was DJing, the first thing that I discovered. And I said, "No, this is great. I love the club life. I love the music." And this is how it started.
Amazing, cool. That's a bit of a really cool background. You've touched many different aspects. You've hit many different things from programming to different music, and you always had a passion in music. I know as well
Absolutely.
that apart from being a DJ, you love producing, remixing,
Oh, yes.
songwriting. Ha-
Well,
ha-
Well, it is it the thing is, when you're starting to be a DJ, you quickly realize that just playing others people music, it's not enough. You
okay,
have to start to do your own music, and this is it is a natural, when it comes to music, DJing and DJ music career, it's the natural next step. Well, it's very seldom when there is a musician becoming a DJ. Mostly there is a DJ becoming a music producer. Maybe
okay,
I was lucky to have a musical background, so that was easier for me. Then it was for me just learning the new tools. For me, that was pretty easy to express myself musically. For me, I was just learning the new tools, what programs to use, what software to use, what hardware to use,
Okay.
and that was, and again, this is such a fascinating subject because if you are a music producer or sound engineer, and I will tell that to everybody, if you say I know everything, you're an idiot. Sorry for my French, but this is how it is. There are things to learn every day. The music is constantly changing. There are new tools, new hardware, new software, and it's like a never-ending discovery. And this is what makes this profession great.
Amazing. Of course, I'm sure it takes a lot of your time because you have a lot of different points that you are working on, even something that we were recently now talking about with the producing and
Mhm.
your website. So you've managed to combine all these different roles and execute always in a great way exactly what you want to deliver.
Well, it is very important because in these days, as an artist, well, in the old days, where you were just an artist, okay, a musician, a band, a member of a band, a DJ, whatever, and then you were signed to a record label that had a promotion department, how you look department, sales department, and so on. These days, an artist has to do everything himself or herself.
Yeah.
It not just creating music, creating image, promotion, PR, marketing, even sales. These tools are available, easily available today, which is the blessing of today's technology. The
Yeah.
problem is you cannot be alpha and omega, all by yourself, and this is how why it is so hard, because instead of focusing on what you are actually the best in, which is creating music, uh, talking to people's emotions, okay, you have to be a manager, a salesperson, PR manager, marketing specialist, social media, and this is so confusing. However, because I originated from technologies and from computers, that was pretty easy for me. That is why, for example, right now when the lockdown started and the whole music industry was, well, entertainment music industry in time of crisis is the first to be hit. And luckily, because I'm also a filming aficionado, and I like to express myself through filming and cameras and stuff, and I like these new things. With my wife, we started to film things. We started this website called Malta Forever. I strongly encourage everybody to check out on Facebook, Malta number 4 ever. It started as a project with few of our friends, us, me, my wife, and our friends, as a comedy sketches, and then it grew into something like alternative news website for Malta. We have different news outlets in Malta, like Loving Malta, the Times of Malta, but they are all serious news. When we are trying to spread a cool and positive message, not only through comedy, music, and funny sketches, but also through TV reports, like we covered cancer foundation event,
Cool. Okay.
or we interviewed and filmed the Malta Aviation Museum, or the Esplora Science Museum, and things that the mainstream media in Malta quite often don't portray or cover. And then we stepped in
Yeah.
as a Malta Forever and a group of friends, and trying to show that Malta is not only politics, COVID, and maybe construction problems. Okay,
Yeah. Thank you for that.
it's a
It's
beautiful
not all
country
about
with beautiful.
cement.
Yeah, it's a beautiful country with beautiful people, and for some strange reason, Maltese people are not willing to show it to the world in the way we trying to show it, as from the perspective of the foreigners, because we chose to be here
Yeah.
because we love the place. And that is why we are not only showing it to Maltese people, but also to the world
Yeah.
through our eyes. And this is, I guess, a great opportunity for Malta to, thanks to people
Of
like
course.
us and the other ones, to be seen as an amazing place.
Exactly, exactly. Thank you very much for that comment. It's a breath of fresh air to hear something, some positive things about Malta. Not always people mentioning all these negative things that are happening around us and everything. If you want as well, we can after the show put a link for Malta Forever, so everyone that is watching the show will be able to check out the page and even follow, so that they can see all the work that you are working. I mean,
Yes.
everything that you are working on and,
Thank you.
and trying to showcase. That would be amazing. In the meantime, I also want to put up our first comment that we have for you today from CVV, who says, great artist and entertainer.
Oh, very good. Stevie V is a very good friend of mine and one of the best Malta's DJ. Stevie V, thumbs up.
Super. Thank you very much, TVV. He also gave you a shout out and a fist bump. I am going to go into the next question because, yes, we've opened up now on all the different things that you do work on. But being a DJ has a lot of different points in it. And the
Yeah.
main thing is being a good DJ. I mean, what does it mean, Robert, to be a good DJ?
Well, it's actually a tough question, and it's a tough subject because being a good DJ is not, people think when they go into the club and they see a guy or a girl dropping tracks and they saying, oh, well, he's just playing someone else's music. No, it's you know. If you were have been playing in small clubs, huge venues, festivals, different countries, different crowd, it makes you bulletproof because then you can. There is almost no situation when you cannot do your job, which is the main job of a DJ, is make people dance and have a good time. Young DJs really sometimes forget about it. Young people are driven by ego, emotions, crazy dreams, and they forget that actually what they do, it's not the people are for them, they are for the people. So their job is to create the atmosphere, to read the crowd, to see what will work best. Sometimes put their own ego into a packet because their main job is to make people dance and have a good time. That's why they are paid for. And this is what comes with time. Okay, maybe there can be a younger, cheaper DJ doing a party, but will be a memorable, amazing party everybody will talk about? Maybe yes, maybe no, but definitely someone with experience is you have way better chance to have this night or a party be talked about for months in the future or days or whatever. But this is what, in my opinion, what it takes to be a good DJ, an experience.
I'd have to agree with that completely. I think that was the perfect answer to my question. So thank you, Robert. And I actually have another question for you here from Ben Vincenti. Thank you, Ben, who's asking you, who are your favorite artists, Robert?
Okay, it's well, my friends who know me, they know that I am huge fan of the disco era, the 70s disco. I was born too late. If I would be like I don't know in the 70s, not 8, 7, or 9 years old, but 20 years old, in partying in the Studio 54, most possibly I would be already dead because of the crazy times. But my favorite artists are the mostly the artist, the disco soul artist from that era. And actually, I met one of my heroes. Let me show you something, okay?
Okay.
Oh, just a second. Okay. First out. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes. So I can tell you a little bit story. One of the biggest bands in the 70s were the band Chic. and one of the main producers of that is named Nile Rodgers. He
Okay.
produced not only the chic like Le Freak, C'est Chic, but also the other artists like Sister Sledge, David Bowie. He produced the Let's Dance album for David Bowie, the second album of Madonna that made her a superstar. Other Michael Jackson, In Excess, Mick Jagger. Anyway,
Amazing.
recently Daft Punk,
Okay.
and I met the guy, and he signed my chic record. If you
Oh,
can see
super
it,
cool. That's amazing.
Nile Rodgers, okay, and that. But there is more. Through my promoter in New York, I had a possibility to remix the one of the recent songs, comeback songs from the um, legendary Casey and the Sunshine Band with Nile Rodgers guitars, recorded guitars. So he was featured in this track. So I have Nile Rodgers guitars recorded on my hard drive, and I released this remix, which is like a huge dream come true. So of course now Rogers, then all the great Afro-American vocalists like Luther Vandross, Teddy Pendergrass, Barbara Tucker, just to name a few. These are, this is my period of recently, it's from the recent artists. I like Sigma. I Capital Cities, the band from California, that they have kind of dance slash alternative kind of
Okay.
music, electronic meets analog stuff. They do very, very good music, well produced, and but this, if I may, there is we music producers are cursed because we
Okay.
cannot listen to the music as normal listeners, because we already deconstructing the music in
And
our
studying.
minds and study, oh, what did they use, and so it's a curse. So we are not normal listeners.
All right, okay. Ben, I'm sure Robert has answered your question, and I'm actually very amazed. Very cool stuff that you mentioned. And that album is super. I mean, it can't really get any better, especially with the love and the passion that you have in the music scene, Robert. I am going to put up another comment you have here from Jonathan at Sopardi France. You had me at Commodore 64 and a hot. I'm enjoying listening to your outlook, Robert.
Oh, well, actually, I was Amiga guy, okay, because my first computer was ZX Spectrum Plus. Then I had an Amstrad 6128, and then I jumped straight to Amiga. So I was into Amiga demo scene. It's a lot of to explain. Okay, people from that era know. Okay, we organized huge parties for computer nerds, and imagine 1,000 people in one big room with all surrounded with computers showcasing the graphics, animations, and stuff. I was the organizers of such events in the 90s, and so it's great era. So Commodore 64, yes, one great games.
And just for you to know as well, Jonathan is also the co-founder and developer of Get Hitched and Devently. So I'm sure he's understanding all these tech
Yeah.
phrases and everything you were mentioning in the beginning. And sort of probably that's why he has the heart, because he feels he understands. So thank you, Jonathan. He did put up another comment as well while you were talking, listening to your voice and you talking about disco. I can see you making a song like Daft Punk, Giorgio by Moroder. Moroder.
No, Giorgio Moroder. Moroder. This is Giorgio Moroder. That's the name and surname. Daft. Well, Giorgio Moroder is one of the electronic disco pioneers. One of the first. He produced Donna Summer, I Feel Love, with this famous bass line. That's the guy.
I know that one.
And
Okay.
and Daft Punk, actually, you know what? Malta is a little bit connected with Daft Punk. if I may
Okay.
say. Last year, my very, very good friend, his name is Robert Babic. He's a German guy, but his origins are Polish. Anyway, we know each other for many, many years. He's one of the best sound engineers. First of all, he's a well-respected techno music god. Okay, and I was so surprised that when I received the news that he moved to Malta last year,
Okay.
and he was working with Daft Punks
Wow. Okay.
directly. So the guy that worked with Daft Punks and his whole big studio is right now here in Malta, close to Mars Scala.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Cool.
so it's
Should go
amazing
pop
that
in and say
Malta.
hi.
You see, it's amazing that Malta is attracts so many different people, because music industry is so small relatively that everybody knows each other. You know someone that knows a guy, or maybe you would like to know, but there is only one person from knowing someone that you might. It's like the Nile Rodgers thing. I met the guy in Amsterdam every October. There's a huge music convention called Amsterdam Dance Event. Everybody out there from the music industry, from DJs, promoters, labor owners, uh, club owners, everybody. Okay, and. And I met the guy, Nile Rodgers, my hero, and that is why I was just he was giving a lecture. I was sitting in the second row, and I just had this record and a pen, and I just show him this. Yeah, I said no
Yes.
problem. Just wait till I finish. So amazing, amazing.
John did add another comment. Amazing. Sounds like an amazing event. Old school is the best school. Thank you, Jonathan, for the comments. And thank you, Robert, for the fascinating information you've been giving us. I am going to push us slowly into the next question because
Okay.
we're over 20 minutes already and we're on the third or fourth point on our agenda for today. But I want to continue a bit with what you were talking about collaboration. I want to know who you've collaborated with internationally, labels, artists. Tell us more about this.
Well, during the years, I collaborated with many artists or many labels, like the label Pasha Recordings from Ibiza, Contour Records, which is the largest um, uh, German-based major record in Germany. Last year, I produced a comeback song for Rosala. You might know her from her 90s hit "Everybody's Free to Feel Good."
Yes.
She was performing with Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Okay, and I produced her last song. Um, and just well there are so I worked my first label that I signed my track to was the legendary Miss Moneypennies from Manchester. They were one of the first glamorous house parties, and they were doing parties in Ibiza. And Jim Chef Ryan, the boss of Miss Moneypennies, is a legend in UK. Of Mark Doyle is the
Okay.
creator of Head Candy, which is the one of the first and the biggest disco house record labels slash parties. Jerry Ropero, if you remember from a few years back, there was this huge hit, Corazao. Is I siempre no meu corazón, if you remember. Is a very good friend of mine. Um, uh,
If you don't mind
Denzel,
me.
Pump It Up. Okay,
Okay.
he's a friend of mine. We performed together a
Cool.
few times. So Johan is also a Denzel. His name Johan is a good friend of mine. So it's a small world.
Yes, yes. Is there any particular label that would stand out to you that gave you the most opportunities going forward? Anything
I
that
guess
gave you
this
the best?
Pacha Recordings is the main one, because this, thanks to that, I was my track one no two more of my tracks were chosen by Bob Sinclair,
Okay.
the world famous Bob Sinclair, into his compilation Pure Pasha 2015 Paris by Night compilation. Okay, and
Okay.
this is and then later I met Bob Sinclair.
2015.
Yeah, that was in 2015, and then I bootlegged one of his tracks that he was not unhappy because I unofficially remixed one of his songs, but because I chose particular this one. The thing is, it was a pretty big success in UK because some of the dance radios in UK picked this remix up, and it went into they play major main playlists, radio playlists in UK. So he wasn't very happy about me choosing this particular song for my unofficial remix, but actually he said, "Oh, okay, no problem."
All right. There's a huge background that you have with experience and all the names and labels that you've mentioned. I know Pasha, for example, everybody I think in Malta knows about the label and Bob Sinclair and all this. So it's been amazing with all and everything that you've been mentioning. If anyone watching the show does have any questions, please keep them coming. Tell us your feedback, your
Yes,
experiences. We'd be more than happy
yes, please.
to hear about everything. Um, the next question I have for you, Robert, is if you see a difference, and if yes, what is the difference of working abroad and in Malta? And mainly, I do ask this because sometimes when I see people, we always say there's a lot of opportunities outside of Malta, but I want to get your feedback that you've worked in different locations.
Well, first of all, if in my profession I can live and work in Antarctica, it will be just colder. Okay, so it and Malta. First of all, Malta is a great place. It is well connected, fast internet, great infrastructure. It's not dying out as many of the islands, like Spanish islands or Greek islands, after the season. It is a country that works all year long. So for me, it's working remotely with my clients or flying around. After me coming to Malta, I already played a few times in Poland. I played in Ibiza. I played in Doha in Qatar. So these things are coming, but coming here also gives me possibilities to work with the local artists. For example, I produce music for last season X Factor. Okay,
Yeah,
so if you remember the opening song of Lady Gaga, when all the group, everybody were singing the Lady Gaga song, that was my production. The girl, I don't remember her name, that came second, with the one with the curly hair, I produced music for her as well.
cool.
So
Okay.
I produce music for Amber. I guess 1 or 2 years ago there was this shotgun international shotgun competition, and the anthem
Okay.
that was sung by Christabel and Amber, I
Okay.
produced the song. It
Cool.
was
Okay.
written by someone else, but the production was mine. So I produced the song for this international event that the prime minister was opening this brand new shooting strip close to I don't remember, close to the airport, but anyway,
Okay.
it was a huge opening. That was this shooting range was created especially for that event, and I
Okay.
produced music for the opening. That was pretty cool. So Malta, just summarizing, it to work remotely. I can work anywhere. Uh, but it also gives a possibility to work with many talented and great people locally.
Yeah. Okay. Super.
So
Thank you for that.
if you need my services, you know where to come.
Definitely. And we can mention as well, Robert, you have your Facebook page. You can be reached on your Facebook
Yeah,
page, on the website. Have
YouTube
yes,
as well. Just write Mr.Root Music, and then you will find me.
super. And he's also on Evently, and he has a profile as well there. So anything that you're looking for, you're going to find a way to reach out to him. And I'm sure that within hours, you're going to get an answer from Robert to see if he can help you out with either production, DJ events, film, video, anything that is needed.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
Going into back to music, what we were talking about, are there any particular gens that you like to work with?
Well, it's I always say, as a DJ, as a music producer, I'm a house DJ. Okay,
Okay.
so I love house music because it originated from disco, and so I like that kind of, I love vocals basically.
Okay.
So I just basically like good songs. Okay, not just club tracks, but club tracks that are also good songs. But that's me. Okay. However, when I work with a client, and this is also my philosophy when I DJ. Okay, client must be satisfied, because
Yes.
this is why the client will in by the end pay me money. Okay, so because this
And
is
not
my
just that, recommend you and tell you to do another event and so on and so
exactly.
forth.
So when I produce something for someone, I talk with the person. I'm trying to get know the person first, what and then we working together until the client is satisfied. So there it can be hip hop, it can be R&B, it can be trance or house or pop track or deep house, you name it. And so we're, the client is always first. And the same is when I prepare for an event. When I DJing, I'm not always DJing in a club. So when I doing an event, I doing a research, which songs you want to hear, what kind of people, what age those people will be. Okay, if there will be more younger crowd, then I will definitely know what to play. And then some things I will honestly say, okay, this is not the music I usually play. Okay, there are better people than me. So it's so I the honesty is the most important in my opinion. But the client is always first. Okay, because he's paying the bills, or her paying the bills, and they demand high quality results, and this is my job.
Very
I
good,
hope
very
that.
good. You've answered the question perfectly, and
Thank
like that
you.
people can know. And even I believe that DJs, you're all connected together. So I'm sure that even if you feel that maybe you're not the right DJ to do the particular event or whatever the person is asking for, you'd be able to recommend them and tell them, listen, speak to this person or speak to that person, and get them in contact. And I'm sure other DJs do that as well with you.
Yeah, sometimes. Well, n-
Oops.
yes, yes.
Yes. We all know.
Sorry.
We all know.
So
Don't
it's like
worry.
any other business. Come on, it's
Exactly.
like any other business. You have competition, and you compete with others, and sometimes there are some good and bad blood spilled, and here and there. It's just like DJing, music production. It's like any other business. We create a product that have to compete with other products on the market, and really, this is how it is. Okay, and some people are spreading BS on the others. Some people are saying, "Oh, I don't want to talk about it," and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. I understand completely. It happens not only in Malta, I'm sure. And I'm actually just going to skip.
Everywhere, believe me,
Good.
everywhere, and in many different businesses. At the end of the day, you are fighting for your survival. So you are not only competing with the others, but it's the way how you compete. Okay,
Very good.
it's how you have to approach your client, convince your client that you are the right person to do the job. Okay, not because you are cheaper than anyone else, but because you are good in what you are doing, and client will eventually be happy to pay for the higher quality, because at the end of the day, the client, who might be, let's say, an event organizer, he will face his clients. Okay, or maybe someone will be an venue owner. Okay, and he will, because hiring some not qualified people, in the longer term he will lose his business. Okay, so it's these are all these all
Yes.
connections are very important. So uh, so this is how it works,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
in any business.
And this is a very good point you mentioned, Robert, and I do want to point it out, even with all the viewers and even people planning their events. When you're looking to meet different suppliers or get in touch with DJs, caterers, whatever you're looking for your event, don't just base it on price. Don't just get 2 or 3 quotes and go for the cheapest price, but meet up with the supplier and see what and why the price is at that point. And why is this person charging 100 euros and why is this person charging 300 euros? So you can understand the
There you go.
difference and make a very good selection based on facts, not just on price. And I've been wanting to say this for a long
Oh, we
time.
have to.
Yeah,
Thank you.
it's
Thank you. I was the one to bring it
amazing.
on your
Thank you,
show.
Robert.
Thank you.
Thank you. Because I have met people and they do tell me, yes, we meet up with different people and we've even put in features for doing video calls and stuff like that slowly. And it's so easy in Malta to get connected and have that online meeting with any supplier that a person is looking for. But just going on price that is written on a piece of in an email or on a Facebook message and then just going for the cheapest is not always going to give a person the best result.
There you go. It's all around the world the same. So this well, to achieve certain quality requires a lot of investment. It can be hiring the best chef. Okay, it might be buying the best equipment. Okay, buying a better camera. Okay, and learn how to
Yes.
use this camera. Okay, you can I can play a party on the old console that I will barely hold together, okay? I can do it, okay? But I will be more comfortable and less stressed playing on a high quality
Very
equipment
good.
that actually costs a lot of money to
Yeah.
buy at first. It's just if you're thinking like each of these segments or parts of the console is at least €1,000 each, okay, and then you have three of them, then you have
Yeah.
lights and sound system and everything. It costs money, okay. It might recap the investment in years, okay.
Yeah.
It's understandable, but still, if we as a entertainment providers, we want to provide the best service,
I
okay,
agree.
because this is our business card, not only a piece of paper that we're handing out, or there you go, but how we represent what we do and how we do it. So when you said about the catering, do you want your guests to be sick, or do you want your
It's the same
guest?
with videographers, with photographers. I mean,
There you
there's
go.
certain equipment that has to be purchased. We understand from a supplier's point. Perhaps from my end, I might understand it more because I, of course, speak with all the different suppliers. But
Yeah,
everyone has a €1,000 phone, and everyone has done the research to buy between the 800, 900 euro, or €1,000 phone, and they've
there
done
you
the
go.
research there. So I highly recommend doing your research when looking at the different suppliers and understanding why the price, even if you end up not choosing going for the supplier that's most expensive, for example, compared to the options you have, but at least understanding why his price point was higher than the others. Um, Going into the next topic on the agenda, I am just going to put it up for you, but Ben Vincenti did ask you this previously.
Yes.
So just for the viewers to know, because they have,
Soulful disco, funk, you know, just
yeah,
just check out Luther Vandross and his and or and his songs. I just listen them in the car. Or check out Glitterbox Radio Show. They have really good radio show. They're British and they have great parties. So good
cool.
stuff.
I think the best way to answer this question is everyone just start looking at the show from the very beginning again, because you have a certain passion for music and artists, and you've non-stop mentioned different artists, very good ones, and even just different genres and from different points from everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Um,
you have to be up to date, by the way, because if well, if you still want to be in the game, either you are a producer or a DJ, you have to be, if you start not to, I'm not talking about liking, but accepting the new music, you are out of your game. Okay, because well, you have to still be up to date and still keeping your style. For example, I give you the best example. When you are, I was a resident DJ, one of the top clubs in Warsaw,
Okay.
and it was really hard to keep to play what people wanted, and and keeping the style of a club, okay, because people are always wanting something new, okay. And me, I was sometimes, because we DJs are getting free music promos directly from the labels, or from the other producers, so we have loads of, I my email is flooded with promos and links and free downloads from me as a industry person. And then I'm playing tracks that maybe will be hits in 2 months time, or in a month time, of who knows, okay. And people are not knowing it. Oh, what is it? So it's always finding this balance, and we're coming to the first question when we're talking about the experience, finding a balance between the venue, the profile of the venue, or the crowd, and the music, okay. How it all these, ingredients is what make a good party, or a great event.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you, Robert, for all the points that you've been mentioning and for
Thank you.
everything. I am going to take it on because we've actually already hit over 40 minutes on the show.
Sorry.
It's fine, it's fine.
Sorry.
So I am going to take it into the next point that we have on the agenda,
Okay.
where I want to go now into your songwriting experience. Tell us a bit more about that.
Well, it came out of necessity. Okay, it's
Okay.
songwriting. When you are a musician, and sometimes you come up to a situation when you have no songwriter around, or let's say you're working with someone that has an initial idea, and but cannot put it all together, and then through your experience you're starting. And this is how I started. Well, I'm not a songwriter, a songwriter done write only song does only songwriting, okay. It's a part of many of my skills. So for example, if I need to write lyrics, I'll do them, okay. Sometimes I'm getting lyrics from someone else and I don't like them. I write my own lyrics that are completely different, that actually work with the song. So it again, it became it started out of necessity, uh, uh, of course there are better songwriters than me that do it professionally, okay.
We're
For
not
me it's
perfect at
one,
everything.
but you cannot be perfect exactly at everything, but this is one of the skills. So if I will be on the deserted island and I'll have to make produce and write a song, I'll do it. The only thing I will not do it is singing. My wife
No?
is saying like, how it is possible with a person that see the sounds or hear the sounds, have such a sense of rhythm, cannot sing. And I'm sorry, I cannot. My singing will wake up all the babies sleeping, the afternoon nap. So
She
sorry.
woke up one morning and like, Robert, stop singing.
Yeah, yeah. All the dogs in the neighborhood will be like howling, like.
Okay.
Sorry.
A fun fact about you. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
Um, uh, Now, the next point that Lisa has put up for us here, with regards to inspiration. So we are talking about all the different songwriting, producing, remixing, DJing. Where does your inspiration come for all the different projects you've been working on?
Well, it might sound cheesy and obvious, but everywhere.
Yes.
It's like this when it can be why it can be a disco, it can be a techno track, it can be I don't know, a music theme from something, okay, or maybe even oh, someone else did this funny track. Maybe I can do well. Maybe I can do it better. Okay, uh, because I also do music production courses, and I teach
Okay.
music production, and well, there is no shame to copy, okay, someone, because when you are copy someone, I always say, if you copy from the best, okay. So if you copy someone, you reverse engineer someone else's work, so in the same time you are learning, but at some point your own creative mind takes over. So
Yes.
this creative, this initial, let's, maybe not stealing, but inspiration, when you started to recreate someone else's work, you have the learning stage, and then it's just like, oh, but let's say if I will add something from me, and more and more, but at the end of the project might be totally different than your initial inspiration.
But that's
That was
fine.
the work of someone else. So this is also how I work, when especially when I work with other artists. I
Okay.
always say 90% of people wants to sound like someone else. Okay, it's a fact. Okay, so, or they have their heroes. Okay, so um, a girl is coming to me and say, oh, I want a song like Dua Lipa. Okay, or someone is coming and, oh, I want this big club tracks like Nicky Romero. Okay, or David Guetta. Okay, so okay, no problem. You ask and you get it. Okay, so in my work, I have to listen to what they have in mind, because at the end and I have to create something similar but different. Okay, not to be accused of really copying someone else, but at the end of the day, the client is happy because he is within the style of the initial idea,
Yeah.
but he's still different. So again, it comes with experience, and uh, well,
Everyone has to start from somewhere,
yeah.
especially with learning as well. So I do agree with you there, as long as then your creativity kicks in and takes over. And it's very good that you start with a project on some level, but your creativity takes it into something insanely amazing on another level that you didn't even think of in the beginning, because you need to start to actually continue
Yeah,
and make the best out of that project.
this is why when I teach people, is I always tell them, look, you are all fascinated by all these knobs and software and stuff. No, these are all only the tools to express yourself. It's like learning how the brush and canvas and paints work. Okay, but what you put on the canvas is from you. You are just learning how to use the brush.
Yeah.
Okay, and this is how I teach people how to use this, but I also open their minds when I'm saying, look, you are creating with your music. Either you are a DJ or a music producer, you are triggering people's emotions.
Yes.
Okay, and this is huge subject, when you there are different emotions that are more important to women, more important to men. There are these basic emotions like fear, anger, happiness, euphoria, sadness, love, and why some songs attract more women and some songs attract more men. Okay, why some rhythms or chord progressions work the way they are. Okay, even frequencies. This is the whole subject of science, which is we can talk about it really maybe some other day.
Yes, maybe some other day, because we are cropping to the last two questions.
Okay, sorry for being
It's fine.
speaking.
It's fine. It happens. It's fine. You have a lot of experience. There's a long background behind you, so I completely understand. And I do hope that our viewers are enjoying all the information that you've been able to give to everyone on the show today. So, I mean, I can't stop saying thank you for that. Um,
My
my
pleasure.
One of my last two questions for you is with regards again to the DJ service and what the right setup is for a DJ in an event. People say
Well,
it's just plug and play, but I'm sure there is more in it.
it depends. Okay, first of all, the most important thing is the quality of the sound. Okay, because if you have a crappy sound system, that is not fitted to a venue or a place, or it's old and barely you can hear anything about it from it, how can you enjoy the night and the
Yeah.
music played by the DJ? So the sound system is really really important. Then the DJ console is, this is just a personal preparation. It can be, let's say, a console based on a Pioneer system. It can be a console based on a Mac computer and a controller. It
Okay.
can be professionally club complete DJ console. Okay. Or maybe it can be some, there are new devices that are all-in-one systems that even connecting to Spotify. So it's all about it's all personal. Okay, when, for example, there is someone playing strictly weddings, okay, he you never, or private events, sometimes you have to have the access to the music you usually don't play it, because people are asking for it. If you didn't do your proper research before, which what we were talking about before, okay, that it's all about talking with your client, okay, before the event, and what they actually want. This is what comes with the experience. And this and sometimes, or maybe someone will come and say, oh, I want this, and you don't have it, you have to get it quickly. So it's all, this technology allows people to to have the best working environment. Okay. uh, so this is secondary, because then it's all personal taste of a DJ. uh, but the most important, obviously, is the sound system, and if and the quality of the stuff they're using. Okay, so again, we're coming back our
This
main
will,
subject
yeah.
of this conversation: the quality
Yeah, the
and
quality
the
is
client
also
satisfaction.
going to differ based on the venue, if it's outdoor, indoor, how big the venue is. So there is a bit of research to do on the right setup, and I do think that the DJ should be kept in the loop if there's a particular setup that the particular person is getting for the event. So you can give your feedback and base it,
Well, this is a
help them
part
out.
of the job. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but this is also a part of the deal between a DJ and the client, because it's the client is not only paying for DJ to play at this night, the DJ is doing the research before. Okay,
Yeah,
so I'm asking the client about the music, about the venue. What else do you would like to have? Do you have a program for the night? Okay, so it's all part of the job and the contract between me as a DJ or a party organizer and the client. So the clients have to understand this is not only me coming with the equipment, pressing buttons, and
exactly,
drinking
exactly.
beer.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Yes. Very good. We do have another comment here from Lisa Lomax. Very informative episode. Really enjoyed listening about the music industry. There you go, Robert. Thank you,
My pleasure.
Lisa. Thank you, Robert. I have my last question for you, Robert, today.
Hmm.
Your future plans for Mr. Root. What are you working on at the moment, and what can we expect from you soon?
Well, I don't. Well, I wrote a song and recorded with a friend of mine, very, very, very good friend of mine here from Malta, and he was singing he sung the vocals for the track, and I'm
Okay.
trying to sign it to. I've sent it to a few labels. I don't know. I'm waiting for the response from Sony Music, from Contour Records,
Okay.
and a few others. It's um, a sort of like deep house, techie house, but still commercial summer track. Now my wife is recording songs for her upcoming album in Poland, but also international. There will be two versions, in Polish and in English.
Okay.
And the composer is there is a guy that composed all the songs, but I will produce them. So I will get all the music, all the recordings, all the stems, as they called, um, parts of the songs here, and I will put them all together as a final product. So So this
So
is
we have a
that
lot
will
of production going on now.
yes. So and constantly I have a website that I sell. Um, it's called the templates for music production software. So so people can come to my shop, buy the template, and then modify it and release it as their own song. So I
Okay.
produce a lot for that. This is my passive income. I just once in a while I just drop few new templates and they people are just buying it. I don't have to think about it.
Okay.
So I
Super.
created a site, online website, online
Put the
shop.
link in as well. Everyone will be able to check it out,
Yes.
especially if there's any DJs around, listening to the show. They'll be able to have a look at the site as well.
Okay.
Cool.
No problem. Of
Super.
course. Of
Super.
course. Yes, ma'am.
Amazing. Robert, I am through with all the topics on the agenda today. Thank you very much for being on the show. I don't know if you have any final words for our viewers today.
Well, thank you very much again for having me, for the opportunity. For I'm sorry if I talk too long. It's my nature, and well, if you have any questions, find me on Facebook under my real name or my on my page, my artist page, Mr. Root Music, and Malta Forever. Just I'll be more than happy to answer your questions or help you with your career or venture or problems you might have. This is what I do professionally. So I help people.
Definitely. Amazing. Robert Korzeniewski.
That's right.
Amazing. Yes. Okay, cool.
Woohoo.
Thank you. Yes, I'm very happy that I managed to pronounce it correctly. Finally, I've only been practicing it, guys, for all morning. Um,
That's true. That's true. Alberta was practicing. No. It's
I
RZ is
have my
pronounced like
notes.
Z. Yeah, there you go.
I
So
have my notes.
that's true.
It's been great talking with you. It's fine that the show went a little longer. You have a lot of experience in the music industry, so I'm very happy that we've had the show. I am going to close it off, so I'm going to wave you goodbye, Robert.
Yeah,
Bye
thank
bye.
you.
There you have it, guys. Robert Korzeniewski, where you can find him as Mr. Root. He's on Evently, he's on Facebook. I'm sure he has Instagram. There's Malta Forever. There's a ton of different locations that you can get in contact with him. I do think he would be a really great DJ for any type of event. In fact, we do work with him on Evently for DJing for personal and corporate events. So if you do need anything, he has his profile for you to contact him directly, or you can find him through the submitting a request on Gettage or through Facebook and all the other media and contact options that we've provided. Thank you again to everyone for watching the show. Thank you for all the comments and feedback and questions. I love it. Keep it coming. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.